Today in this video, I'll show you the very best game deals currently available on Steam. I've picked out the top games at the lowest prices we've seen in a long time. Games you can grab right now and add to your library. So if you stumbled across this video, take it as a sign to watch it till the end because you don't want to miss these amazing games at rock bottom prices. For example, Watch Dogs. Legion is now 90% off. The game drops you into an open world London of the near future where you can literally play as any character you encounter. Every non-player character has unique abilities, from hackers to undercover agents. The main feature here is freedom of choice. How you complete missions and what tools you use is entirely up to you. The dark yet lively city, combined with a deep hacking system, makes this one of the most unique action games out there. At 90% off, it's a steal. Next up, Rise of the Tomb Raider, also 90% off. This is the continuation of Lara Croft's adventures, sending her across frozen Siberia in search of ancient artifacts. It mixes action, tomb exploration, and survival elements with upgraded graphics, an engaging story, and tough puzzles. It's one of the best modern entries in the series, perfect for anyone who loves Indiana Jones style adventures. Or even better, you can grab the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy at 87% off. That bundle gives you the full modern trilogy with all DLC, telling Lara's entire story, from her first steps as an explorer to becoming a seasoned adventurer. Over 50 hours of puzzles, exploration, and combat. For those who want the complete modern trilogy, this is the best deal. Then we have Arma 3, currently 90% off. A realistic military simulator with massive maps, where each mission feels like a real operation. Perfect for fans of tactical gameplay and teamwork. There are dozens of vehicles, from tanks to helicopters. Success here relies less on reflexes and more on strategy, coordination, and attention. Another great deal is Severed Steel at 95% off. For just a few bucks, you get a fast-paced first-person shooter with acrobatics and stylish gunfights. There's no reload button. You pick up weapons from enemies on the go. The world is destructible, so you can smash through walls and windows, creating total chaos. It feels like a mix of Superhot and Max Payne, perfect for fans of adrenaline and parkour in shooters, especially at this price. Next, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, now 90% off. For that price, you're getting the full remastered trilogy of this legendary RPG. The story of Commander Shepard and the Normandy crew is an epic where every choice affects the fate of the galaxy. It combines cinematic combat, deep dialogue, and one of the best space sagas ever made. Now White Shadows at 90% off, an atmospheric black and white platformer, similar in style to Limbo and Inside. The world is dark, industrial, and full of social satire. It makes you think about oppression, fear, and control. This is more of an artistic journey than pure entertainment, perfect for fans of unique indie stories. If you're looking for something fun with friends, Rubber Bandits is 90% off. A chaotic co-op action game where players steal, brawl, and create havoc. It's physics-based. You can throw objects, smash furniture, and sabotage your friends. Every round is unpredictable, and the main draw is the hilarious competition. Great for game nights or streaming with friends. Next up, a retro-inspired racer, Synthwave Burnout, at 95% off. If you love neon tracks with electronic soundtracks, this one's worth a look. The controls are simple, but demand precision and timing at high speeds, inspired by the 80s and speed limit pushing arcade racers. It's a treat for fans of flashy retro vibes. Then we have Worldcrafter TD, 94% off. A unique tower defense with crafting elements. You build defensive towers while gathering resources and creating your own strategies. It's a mix of planning, strategy, and creativity, ideal for fans of hybrid games that combine building and defense. Next, Hazel Sky at 90% off, an adventure about a young engineer dreamer in a surreal world. You'll explore, solve puzzles, and uncover the story of the main character. Calm, artistic, and visually beautiful. A good pick for fans of slower, thoughtful adventures. Then Eco Hole, now 90% off, a co-op horror game with a comedic twist and bizarre puzzles. Players face absurd situations and creepy creatures, blending horror and comedy into something truly unusual. Perfect for those who like weird, experimental indie games. Next up, Cow the Kangaroo, a well-good bundle at 79% off. A fun platformer starring the charismatic kangaroo cow. Colorful worlds, plenty of levels, secrets, and puzzles. It's family-friendly with classic platforming gameplay and lots of charm. Great for fans of indie adventures and nostalgic platformers, especially if you remember the originals. This bundle with DLC is worth picking up. Now for two genuinely scary horror classics, Amnesia The Dark Descent and Amnesia Rebirth, both 85% off. The Dark Descent is a legendary first-person horror game. You explore a dark castle without weapons, solve puzzles, and try not to lose your sanity. Its atmosphere of fear keeps you on edge every second. A must-play for horror fans. Rebirth continues the series in the Algerian desert. You explore ruins, face supernatural terrors, and dive into a psychological horror story. It touches on on themes of memory, loss, and survival in desperate conditions, perfect for players who want a terrifying yet emotional experience. Next, Dead Island Definitive Collection, 84% off, a great bundle that includes the early Dead Island games, a co-op zombie action experience with improved visuals, explore a tropical island, survive hordes of zombies, and craft weapons, known for its open world, crafting, and unique atmosphere, ideal for fans of survival games and co-op zombie fun. Then Titanfall 2, 85% off, a shooter with fast, fluid combat where you control both a soldier and a giant mech. Known for its slick parkour, diverse weapons, and explosive battles, the single-player campaign is engaging and the multiplayer is pure adrenaline, a must for fans of high-speed action shooters. For racing fans, almost the entire Need for Speed series is on sale. Need for Speed Unbound, 88% off. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, 80% off. Need for Speed Most Wanted, 75% off. Need for Speed Payback, 74% off. Need for Speed Heat, 92% off. Need for Speed Rivals, 65% off. Need for Speed 2015, 75% off. Burnout Paradise Remastered, 75% off. Great arcade races that are definitely worth checking out. The same goes for several Far Cry titles. This open-world shooter series takes players to tropical islands, African savannas, or even futuristic landscapes. Each game offers its own story, intense firefights, and tons of side missions. Right now, Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 5 are heavily discounted, along with earlier entries in Blood Dragon, a great chance to expand your collection. Next, the Figment Bundle, 80% off. This includes both games in a musical adventure series with bright, surreal art. Players explore a world of imagination and battle inner fears. It's a mix of puzzles, platforming, and atmosphere, perfect for fans of artistic and musical games. And similar to that, Back to Bed, 81% off, a surreal puzzle game set in unique dreamlike worlds. You guide a sleepwalker safely through bizarre levels, mixing puzzles, atmosphere, and light humor. A Way Out, 80% off, a unique co-op adventure designed for two players. You play as two prisoners planning their escape, solving puzzles, and experiencing a dramatic story full of twists. One of the best games to play with a friend. Call of Juarez Gunslinger, 80% off, a stylish western shooter with a strong narrative. You'll explore the Wild West, hunt outlaws, and duel in classic showdowns. It's colorful, fast, and packed with humor, perfect for fans of cowboy stories and quick draw action. Tannenberg, 80% off, a realistic World War I shooter. Large tactical battles, team coordination, and historical accuracy make this one stand out. Great for fans of military history and tactical gameplay. And finally, ZOMBI from Ubisoft, 75% off, a survival horror set in post-apocalyptic London. You scavenge for resources, fight zombies, and try to stay alive. It combines tension, exploration, and realistic survival mechanics, perfect for horror and survival fans. So those are the very best Steam deals I found this week. As you probably noticed, there were a ton of interesting indie titles here. I spent a lot of time picking out the ones I'd personally buy and play, especially at these low prices, so I hope I earned your like and a subscription to the channel. We've already passed 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much to everyone supporting me. See you in the next video.